Warwickshire Scouters were up and about well before dawn this morning to start their journey on an 18-day trip to the very heart of JR country. They first presented their show in Leamington last November. They've also performed it on the stage at the Royal Shakespeare Theatre at Stratford-upon-Avon. Taking the show to America has taken 2 years to plan. This morning, parents and friends crowded the platform to say goodbye. Leading the party was director and producer Tony Guy, who seemed to have borrowed JR's hat for the occasion.
Well, it all started in 1959 when I met an American Scoutmaster over at Gilwell Park in London. In '74 he came to see my show here in Leamington Spa, and he said, "You've got to take the show to America." Of course, that was a ridiculous idea. But as 1982 came, which is the 75th anniversary of Scouting and the 50th anniversary of gang shows, we decided what better thing to celebrate those than to take the Warwickshire Scout Gang Show all the way to Dallas and Fort Worth in Texas.
Now, a trip of this size will have cost a fair amount of money, I should think.
Basically, the total trip is costing £200,000. About 150,000 of it has been raised by the kids through fundraising, jumble sales, discos, sponsored all sorts of things. And also we've got about £50,000 that we'll take from ticket sales at the theatres in America.
What sort of programme have you got over there?
Well, a very busy one, 17 days, and in those 17 days we've got 4 days at the Tarrant County Convention Centre in Fort Worth, 3 days at the Music Hall in Dallas, and then on the last day, before we come home, we're doing it in front of 65,000 people in the Texas Cowboy Stadium. That's the stadium you see at the beginning of the Dallas film, and we're doing it right in the middle of that stadium.
Did you have to save up a lot to get on this trip?
Yeah, I had to save all my pocket money up and that to get here.
For how long?
Well, nearly since we found out about it, that was about a year.
How did you save your money up?
Worked.
Worked?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Gardening.
Gardening you do?
Yeah. Every weekend.
What are you looking forward to then on this trip?
Mostly meeting the people, I think.
What, fellow scouts?
Fellow scouts and seeing their way of life compared to ours.
How much have you had to save up to go on the trip?
About £200.
How did you do that?
Pocket money.
Nobody around here seems to have had any pocket money for a long time.
Nah, sort of saving up when we first knew about the trip. Started saving then.
Right, thank you. What about you? What are you looking forward to on this trip?
Well, the same thing really, the music, meeting the American people, everything's just going to be so fantastic.
And so away they went, heading for Dallas, Fort Worth and all those glamorous places hitherto recognisable only on the television screen. But before they went, there just had to be one final chorus.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
We're riding along on the crest of the wave and the sun is in the sky. All of our eyes on the distant horizon, look out for passers-by. We'll do the hailing when all the ships around us sailing. We're riding along on the crest of the wave and the world is ours.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Mills speaking, and especially a real warm welcome to our young gentlemen, the Boy Scouts from Great Britain.
The rodeo is filthy. It's about, you know, a foot of... We were off. The Warwickshire Gang Show, complete with 6.5 tons of scenery, helpers and musicians, and a cast of 225, had filled a jumbo bound for Fort Worth and Dallas. The main thing is, we've got to get as much publicity because it's imperative to make financial success to sell every single ticket. And it's the first night that's the secret. If people say to you, when should we come, say, Monday night, 7 o'clock, Tarrant County Convention Centre, because that's the time we've got to fill. Once they've seen one show, I'll guarantee we fill everything else.
Okay, who is Scott? There's your passport. Hang on to that. Go for that.
Yeah, wait. To the right, to the right.
Luggage arriving on both carousels, 1 and 2. As soon as you clear customs, you will be exiting to your right.
This is a great guy.
Now don't, he'll ask for a raise.
Now you've been working for a long time to make this trip, haven't you?
I think we've got something for you that you... I don't know if Paul's told you about it, but you won't really believe that the Scouts could do a thing like this.
Anybody from the Jags Patrol?
Well, there are 3 adults and 1 child.
Filling the far end of the lounge with the 300 families who are going to look after the gang in Fort Worth.
Don't ask questions. Just stand here and be quiet.
This guy is putting on the show. He's here to tell us, why are you in Texas?
Well, basically, 1982 is a very special year in Scouting. 75 years since Lord Baden-Powell first started the movement. And it's 50 years since Ralph Reeder first started the gang show.
L is coming out.
L is coming. Are you all L? I'd like to introduce at this time the Honorable Mayor Bob Bohm, Mayor of Fort Worth.
The miniature key to the city. This key is going to let you in everything that you want to enjoy, and we hope that you stay here, that you're going to have a good time, and we're going to do everything we can to help that happen.
Starlight is out through here.
We can get you all out of this chaos.
All right. Jay, follow the girl with her hand up.
The next day, Fort Worth was waiting to be explored. Plenty to do and much to see.
Spring is in the air.
Says, sorry I'm so late, but I ran into an old friend. And
Early one morning while making the round.
Well, I remember the other day we were talking about a great marketing idea, the Rosie Ruiz pantyhose, you know, that would run but not very far. Well,
sliced on top of a hamburger, over scrambled eggs, or stuffed with anything from shrimp to tuna.
But 2 can play the game, so I think I'll do the same.
here comes this hour's 30-minute commercial-free ride from Let's Talk.
One-legged Joe hopping round on his toes, throw away his crutch and hollered, hey, let her go, honey. Hell, the gang's all here. Fort Alabama, Jubilee, one time.
Come on! We got trouble, let's go now! Oh, but you cut Leon! Come here, get over there! Cut that out! You coming here screaming and hollering because you got trouble with one old boy? Yeah. Well, who is it? I ain't going to tell you. Well, what do you mean you're not going to tell me? You'll just get mad and hit me. Oh, cut that out. Now, come here. Now, you tell me who is down there before I do get mad. All right, it's Jim Slade. What is Jim Slade doing here? I don't know. Maybe he came to shoot up the bank, or maybe he came to rob the saloon, or maybe I came for a piece of your hide, buzzard gut. Maybe he came for a piece of your hide, buzzard gut. Don't you move your ugly hide out of my way, 'cause I'm fixing to come right down your alley. No, you ain't, Slade. Only way you'll come down any alley's in a pine box, buddy. Take. Well, now, Leon. Leon! Leon, are you all right? Speak to me, boy. I don't know. Answer me one question first. Yeah, what's that? What color is blood? Red. Why? Red? I'm okay. So, get out of here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very kindly.
We'd ask tonight, Heavenly Father, that you'd be with all of us at this rodeo. We don't ask, Heavenly Father, tonight for any special favors. Just help us, Lord, to live our lives in such a manner that when we make that last inevitable ride to the country up there, that you, as our last judge, will tell us our entry fees are paid. Amen. And now, the continuation of our grand entry, please.
For our entry to the rodeo, the Nuneaton Scout Band and the girls from the dance team performed in the interval. It was an excellent way to promote the gang show. But now it was down to work, and it was time to move into the theatre.
Sorry, did they tell me what? Right. Okay. No, I don't know. Next cue 66. House lights.
The house lights go, and the curtain goes.
Right. And we come into the other curtain behind it.
This way. Come on. I know, but I'm looking for my top. Those are those on this top? No, look. That's Franson's Geraldine. You've got your top. I haven't got my top.
Have you seen the programme box yet? The programme box is down there.
Massive! I tell you, I think you like it tonight. Somebody gave it to you as mine.
It's for that music cloth.
All right. It should be on that anyway.
I'll try again.
Oh, my finger.
In the foyer, the VIP guests were gathering. They all knew what an American Scout show was like, displays of scouting activities and merit badges. So what were they expecting from our gang show?
Well, I'm sure that it's going to be fun, action, songs, scouting spirit, scouting values, games.
How are you?
Hello. Tony Guy.
Tony,
Very
nice
pleased to meet you.
Hi,
And
how are
Joan
you?
Guy.
Joan, how are you?
I have a son named Guy.
Have you?
And I've been to Guy Tower at Warwick, too.
Right, well, we can see Guy Tower from our house.
It's always on the edge. Just
One, two, three,
four. How do you guys
We've got about 100 backstage. We've got 12 people in the orchestra and about 50 or 60 front of house. But the total trip is 390 people. And we've actually been planning it. The boys have been working at the trip now for 2 years. They've raised £200,000, or the trip will have cost £200,000, $400,000. Of course, now it's what, half an hour to the show. We've done a show, we did a show recently at the Royal Shakespeare Theatre, but I don't think they're as nervous then as what they are now. You know, it's a big theatre, it's a lot of strange people. The thing that's amazing, of course, is how they're all coming now in their cowboy hats, and they're all sort of, you know, all greeting us in these American accents.
How about the director? How's his adrenaline going?
Oh, mine goes forever. Mine goes forever. As long as I've got my wife with me, it'll go forever. Yeah.
The whole wide world rejoices when they hear the sound of voices. So don't be afraid to sing. All sorts of sizes we may be, so we're on the human breed. However, let's face facts, they all call us the rats. Someone's missing where he's from. You know they can do this all. You ain't again, you don't.
But where there's life, there's hope.
You sung along with the song.
Great show, very fine show.
Marvelous. I hope that everybody comes to see it.
Very good. I was in England in January, and I just brought it back home.
Great. Yeah, I like it. Best show I ever saw. Especially the girls.
I liked the whole thing. I was amazed at the amount of work that went into something like that. You know, it really took the kids a lot of work to do that.
Outstanding. There was a lot more variety than I expected, and the performance was very professional, and I compliment them for producing and showing a wonderful show.
Come on, guys, let's wake up. Let's go. Come on. Time to eat breakfast. Come on, let's go. Come on, Jeremy. Hey, you gotta take a shower. And we'll start your water for you, okay? We're gonna have pancakes this morning, American style. Look at this sunshine. Here we go. There you go. How about that? Now, I'll be back in 1 minute. You better be up.
Your friendly neighborhood 7-Eleven. Be sure to pick up your special edition of the Kicks window sticker.
How'd you like to buy an incredible little gadget that'll really, honestly save you gas?
So the show came along pretty good last night, right?
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah, we're sitting in the mix section.
It's quite simple, but it's
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Here's another one. Now you put on the peanut butter. If you want to try some, go ahead and try some.
Pretty good. Put your mouth out.
Now for the surprise is the maple syrup.
Don't go.
Try that now.
It's pretty good. Nice.
Woo! Come on! Come on! Woo! Come on! Come on!
Yesterday afternoon we drove all around the country and saw all the sights around, saw the lake.
About 10 feet. Look out. Mind out behind you, James. Y'all just move back from the fence and give me room along here. And don't come back to the fence after I'm gone. Have you got some English people staying with you?
Yes, sir.
What do they like, these English people?
Well, they're pretty neat and they talk weird.
I'm looking after 3.
Which one are they here?
I've got 2 right here, Steve and Richard. And Graham's running around someplace, probably being fed to the buffalo.
Yeah, you have to pin it. But pin it tight because it's so long, so it feels like it's being
Share the life of a gypsy man, and our home is a caravan, for we live on the Romany Road.
Oh no, it's got a cat! Okay,
So that the wind can break our friends, then play with the
Well, we've got a few problems at the moment. Basically, the show at Fort Worth is going very well. We're getting good audiences, tremendous support from the people over here in the Longhorn Scout Council. But we've got a problem. In fact, we've only sold 600 tickets for the show over in Dallas. The theatre holds 3,240 seats. 3 performances is 10,000 seats. So we've got a position where 5 days before the show, we've only sold 600 tickets. Well, what we're doing now is we are rushing over to Dallas to see the president of the Dallas Citizens Council, who is also president of Downtown Rotary. And at 12 noon today, we're going to talk to 300 members of the Downtown Rotary, who are probably the most influential businessmen in Dallas, to see whether or not they can help us in selling the tickets.
Tony Guy and his group are from Warwickshire, England. Now, I want to tell you a disappointing thing. They didn't come over here just to visit the Rotary Club. What they did is they brought 349 Boy Scouts from England, or Scouts from England, with them to put on a show over here to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Scouting. Now, can you imagine such a thing? They need your help. They need your support to let them know you appreciate their being here, and we need to let them know that we're glad that they would pick us out and come over here and be a part of us at this time. So give them all the support you can, and get some tickets and take your friends and go out there and be with them.
We've been in Dallas all day today, and we eventually got ourselves invited to the Downtown Rotary luncheon, where there were about 300 people there. Unfortunately, they wouldn't let us talk, but they did at least announce about the tickets, and everybody shook our hands.
Well, they were shaking hands and walking away at the same time.
Yes. Right. We did manage to get hold of a couple of good people, and in particular a bloke called Jack Martin. Jack Martin is, I don't know what he is. He's one of the top guys in the magazine Texas Business. He just happens to be interviewing Dr. Pepper at the moment, and the deal we're trying to do it with Dr. Pepper is the fact that they might buy 2,000 seats for the first night and 2,000 seats for the second night at $5 a time, which is $20,000. Then we would go out into the drugstores on Saturday or Friday, when we, or something like that, and dish all these tickets out free of charge. Okay. What we've basically decided is that if by tomorrow night, at the end of the show tomorrow night, we haven't got a commitment from probably Dr. Pepper to take 4,000 tickets from us, $20,000, we will cancel the show in Dallas. I don't want that to go out to the gang tonight, so if you could keep that in strict confidence, please. The problems we were having selling the tickets in Dallas, the Cubs staying at Camp Carter were having a marvellous time.
Everybody wins a prize.
Step right up, boys. We're going to make every one of you lads a Fort Worth Marshal. I don't want you boys to get into any running gun battles. And be careful when you pin them on. Don't pin them to your T-shirts, not to your chest. Now, sir, there you are. A genuine Fort Worth Marshal. Welcome to the Cowtown Posse, Marshal. You're involved in very much a Texas tradition here of a weenie roast. And you can rest your wire down on these, so it'll make it easier on you. You've heard about load your gun, right? Yeah. Well, I'm going to show you how to load your bun. Now, the wire is very hot, and if you take that into the wire or the weenie, you'll burn your hand. But you just put your weenie in there and close the bun on it and slide it off, and you got a hot dog.
Thank you.
And then you take it over and get a little tomato sauce on it, or ketchup as they call it here in Texas.
Down a Publicity Island, everything merry and good. Down a Publicity Island, you're going to join once a day. Simple turns ready to go. Down a Publicity Island, that's where you're want to be. Down a Publicity Island, down a Publicity Island, down a
I'm telling you, shipmates, these brawny fairways, big O, came low over the sea and flopped down in the jungle. I'll bet there's treasure aboard, and people too. Great. We'll be able to carve them up into little pieces.
Look what I've got! This is a little kill on it!
That's great. He's a bit skinny, ain't he?
Oh, please don't kill me. I'm really scraggy. Only skin and bone. Please, please don't slit my throat. I need someone to look after me, not murder me. Is there any possibility that someone could care for me? 'Cause I'm so lonely and so far from home. Won't someone hear my plea and take a chance with me? 'Cause I'm so lonely and so far from home. If there is any, if there is any, if there is any possibility.
That's a nice voice, matey. Seems a pity to kill you. Your mummy will be cross. That's life, matey. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah. Nothing on earth can save you now.
Nothing on earth can save them now, but we can.
Very green and very black, you should see us upside down, swinging on a buttercup, left and right, way up.
I'm a fairy dressed in gold, and I've caught an awful cold, paddling in a pool of dew. What a silly thing! Achoo!
Very green and very brown.
The next day, we went to the crucial meeting with the Dr. Pepper organisation. The secret talks with the members of the board lasted for 3.5 hours. When at last the cameras were let in, we were winning. Well, thank you for everything that Dr. Pepper is doing to help us.
Well, we're delighted to have the opportunity, and I understand we're buying a third of the house both nights of the show, so that'll get you off to a good start in selling the rest of the tickets, and I'm sure with the JCs working with you you're going to be able to sell all the tickets and have a standing room only house.
Great. I know there was various rumours floating around last night about the various difficulties we've been having in getting rid of the tickets in Dallas. The problem is quite simple. This time last night we'd sold about 1,000 tickets in Dallas, and 1,000 tickets in a theatre that's bigger than this for 3 nights is not really very good. So we had to make sure we filled it somehow, otherwise we were going to have to cancel the show. And I know you came over to do a gang show and you didn't want to cancel it. I've spent all day today over in Dallas, and I'm pleased to announce that I've persuaded, if that's the right word, the Dr. Pepper Drinks Company to take 1,000 seats on the first night and 1,000 seats on the second night. So today I've been given a cheque for $10,000 from Dr. Pepper.
From the prairies to the mountains, from the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Final show in Fort Worth behind us, and the gang moved on to Dallas. That meant saying goodbye to the Fort Worth hosts.
You're a good one. Y'all come back and do it.
Oh, we've all been in tears this morning. Oh, I can feel Jason. I can feel them all. Oh, enjoyed it. We're going to miss you all.
It's really nice. Hold you back. Bye-bye, Janie.
Have a good trip.
Thank you.
This is the way that the sun is in the sky. All of our eyes on the distant horizon. Look out for closer time. We'll do the waving. We're all the ships are out sailing. We're riding along on the crest of the wave and the world behind.
The Honorable Jack Evans, Mayor of the City of Dallas.
The City of Dallas is quite proud of its local youth. I feel that its youngsters such as you help provide the renewal of friendship with our friends in Europe. Mr. Tony Guy, Chairman and Assistant County Commissioner, will accept the key to the City of Dallas on behalf of our entire citizenship. Mr. Guy. If you turn this key, it's the key to the City of Dallas, which we want you to use and feel that anytime you want to come and any of your associates, the doors are always open to our city. Congratulations.
Taking the mayor at his word, we used the key to get permission to march down Commerce Street. The difficult job of promoting the show in Dallas had begun.
Oh, we're back now, and I've really got a special treat for you now. These two gentlemen have something in common, and I'll tell you what it is in just a moment. Sitting next to me is Simon. Next to Simon is Andrew, and they're both scouts. Of course, they both don't have on the uniform, but they're here. They're from Great Britain, England, actually. But Andrew, how come you're dressed this way?
In the show, I have a part where I have to be a doctor, and I have my black bag in it.
Well, what you got in the black bag? You said there might be something in it. Can you open it up?
I have. And baby.
I can't believe it, that the scouts carry these kinds of things around. That's how you deliver the baby, no doubt.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. It's kind of a variety show. Is that what a gang show is, for
Yeah.
people that don't know what that is? Well, once again, I want to tell you that we're talking about the gang show, and it's going on at the Dallas Music Hall. And if you want to get tickets, you can talk to the Junior Chamber of Commerce or go down to the Music Hall. There will be tickets available at the door.
I've attended many shows here at this music hall, and $15 would not have covered what I saw tonight. So let's help them out, if you will. Thank you very much.
We're having an absolutely fantastic time over here in Texas. But what we'd like to do now is I'd like to ask if you can help me, because I have a little problem. There are 3,420 seats in this theatre, and tonight there are about 600 or 700 people in. If you've enjoyed the show, please go home and make 3 or 4 telephone calls. Tell your friends all about it. Tell your boss about it. And if you know somebody who'd like to buy a lot of tickets, please let us know. Well, we're all having a fantastic time here in Dallas, and the hosts here in Dallas are just as friendly as what they were over in Fort Worth. But unfortunately, the ticket sales are just not going as well as what we hoped they would do. I think they sold about 50 to 100 tickets for the show for tonight. I think the publicity was wrong. Here in Dallas at the moment, you've got the World Tennis Championships, you've got the opening of the Texas Rangers baseball, you had Tony Bennett in the theatre the night before we were there. You've got so many attractions that this show had to be sold really to corporations rather than just to go out on the streets and sell it. But the Scouts over here have done exactly what they said they would do. They've got their own big Scout show at Texas Stadium on Saturday, and we knew, even when we started, that that's what they would be selling the tickets for. I mean, it's just the same with us. If we were putting a gang show on in England and somebody else came with another show the week we were putting a gang show on, I don't think we would have had the time. We fulfilled absolutely every single thing we wanted to do. You know, we've done the shows, we've brought all the scenery, the costumes, the 400 people over here, and we've done absolutely everything. The only thing that's gone slightly wrong is that we haven't sold as many tickets. So that means it's just a bit harder to get the financial side right. But tonight what we've decided to do is that we're going to finish this trip with a full theatre. And so a decision was made last night that we are going to make sure that the citizens of Dallas know exactly what a gang show's about. And tonight we are giving away over 3,000 seats, and we're going to get the people in. Okay, gang, that's the end of 17 shows at Leamington, Royal Shakespeare Theatre, Dallas, Fort Worth. Where do you want to go next? I don't think... I don't think in 20 years of producing gang shows I've ever met so many talented people that are so dedicated to work so hard. I want to say from the bottom of my heart to you all, thank you very, very much. It was the most moving sight I think I've ever had in my life, to stand in the wings at the end and to look across you, to see about 50 of you with tears rolling down your face, about 25 of you with water running down the front of your trousers from the water scene. And all I want to say is, if you've enjoyed it, perhaps we can do another one sometime.
It's been a very wonderful experience. I've enjoyed them. I have two sons of our own, and to me they were just like two more boys of our very own.
You know, they've been taking us out all the time. You know, if we wanted anything, they would just do it. So great.
We're going to miss it a lot. I only wish we could stay here longer.
Memories for a long, 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 long time. It's a lovely thing to do. And let that go for you. We've been making memories, and if you're very smart, you'll take these little memories and hold it over your heart. Day and night and night and day the sun.
It's a lovely thing to do, and we made them all for you. We've been making memories, and if you're